All right, here we go. Valiant Grammar. Let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes? Shit. Grammar, you have to pretend it's not. Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes.
Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Right?
Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at this photograph of the crime scene.
It's green!
What's this?
Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy?
Even my elderly eyes can see the problem here, Mr. Valent. Look at that IV bag.
Ack. But what's this? What foul mag? Ick. It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph. Ah, Allah, alaka. No!
Rabble.
Two little rabbits came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Order! What does this mean?
This is some kind of mistake. Why isn't the honor roll music playing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
We're gonna
Prosecutor
fail.
Gavin. Your witness's mistake.
I don't think this is enough of a mistake to get, blame turned to him.
Yeah.
But we'll see where this goes. Green and yellow, despite how these guys are acting, are pretty similar colors, too.
We fight a lot about green and yellow.
Yeah, we do. You could easily say in somebody's mind's eye that they fucked up the color.
Yeah.
Especially somebody who speaks so, poetically and flowery as he does.
Yeah.
The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valiant Grammar, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Well... Oh, I think I know where this is going. This contradiction can only mean one thing. He saw the liquid out of the bag. The liquid is yellow, but the bag is blue. And when it's put in the bag, it's green. It's seen through the bag.
Let's see.
This contradiction, but what does that mean for him to have seen the IV out of it?
He took it out.
And watched it trip a couple times, but didn't look at the bag?
When he took it out, he's the one that shot the gun. Or shot the gun and then it
Still,
fell
it's kind of
out.
silly. It's because he saw the liquid drip out and it was yellow, but he specifically didn't look at the IV in the bag. It's just kind of odd that, him knowing the color of the IV color would prove his guilt. But we'll see. This contradiction can only mean one thing. And to think you almost had me.
What?
I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright, if that is your real name, boy toy.
Something you'd like to tell us, Mr. Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, this witness's testimony does contradict the evidence.
Yes, a contradiction. One that should be pleased to hand back to Mr. Wright.
What?
How do you mean? How? Because my witness has made no mistakes. I agree at a glance that the IV liquid does sort of appear greenish yellow. But I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow. Why would you argue this, Gavin? This makes no sense why you would argue this.
Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green.
Why is the court even spending
I know,
time
I don't
on
know.
this?
I really don't know.
You know, this is where Edgy should be. Edgy should be here. He wouldn't do this. He'd say this has no pertinence to the investigation, the color of the liquid. He would go like this. Edgy would go.
Yeah.
What color the IV liquid is makes no difference on the bearing of this case.
Yeah.
And the judge would go,
I find him guilty.
yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook?
It looks like I want to say like blue.
Precisely. Figured it out yet, idiots. I put a yellow liquid in a blue bag. What happens? You get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color.
I see. Your explanation does have a ring of truth to it.
Rebel, 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 I can't believe this.
As I thought, there's no substitute for experienced prosecutor Gavin. But you may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave, for you that is. Grave? The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did the witness know that? Uh-oh.
What?
It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Irk. You know, if I was pressed to say what color is IV liquid, I would say yellow, though. I think most TVs and movies always show it as yellow, so like an easy way out of this right now for Valent is to be like, oh, I just assumed it was yellow. I never actually looked at the bag. We were talking about an IV. I decided to be poetic and pretend that it was I just said a color that I thought it might be.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Bats Fiend. You guys are just trying to fuck with me today. I gave an opinion of how often I see IV liquids as portrayed on TV, and you're telling me that no, what you've seen portrayed on TV is clear. You're telling me what I've seen most often.
Maybe they're saying what they've seen most often.
No, he said specifically, no, it's most often clear. That's amazing. I can't even give my opinion about my own colors that I see.
See, we always fight about color. You always tell me that I'm wrong. Now you're on the other side of it.
Local man examines IVs and tells. Oh my God. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation for the witness.
IV potassium is yellow. We call it a banana bag. Thank you, Bulldog.
Thank you, Bulldog. Is he the paramedic?
Yeah.
There you go, motherfuckers! Bam! And also somebody go look up Breaking Bad. Pretty much, I think all of the stuff in that was yellow for for his treatments.
Oh, maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And that's the last time I saw a lot of IV bags.
His big.
Bam!
Oh.
Somebody take away that turbo's turbo.
No, don't.
I don't even know who it was.
We've never seen Scrubs.
All right.
All right.
At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Alakazoo, my God!
Rubber.
Order! Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid.
You could pass it off. Remember?
So I'm sure it means something, but what?
I can only think of one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valent Gramarai, has testified that the IV was liquid because...
It looked yellow. He'd seen it before. He knew the IV liquid's color. What'd you pick?
From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag.
I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what this means.
Ask yourself, why would he know if he hadn't worked at the hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. This is really fucking far-stretched. I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knows the IV's liquid color? Leaves it getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, ja?
Ja.
The IV's liquid's color is evidence proving the time of death. 30-minute hourglass within the 20 minutes of the worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin?
I remember it well.
However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag.
Wait! I know! The hourglass uses sand, but the IV bag uses liquid. Am I right?
As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no, you're really off. Unlike the sands through the hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. At which point, like magic, it disappears. No, it doesn't. Ow, my knee. Go. However, what if the amount of IV liquid has increased? Whoa. I'm accidentally going in.
IV liquid that enters.
You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. Let me guess this straight here, right? You're saying the fitness filtered down to IVs in the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. Wait, what? That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow.
Oh.
Now, wait a minute. Now I have a, how does he talk? Now wait, I said wait. You might be an amateur, such as myself, essay to perform such a task. What? I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quiet. Can you prove your witness is capable of such a feat?
He has a point, amateurs. I at least would like to have I would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into a bag.
You didn't need to be such an expert when you look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV bag to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidences.
Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth?
Valiant Grammar, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in the life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness has certainly been able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was... It's the syringe.
The victim's syringe?
Whoa.
It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV, and at least enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? Whoa. What? The victim had a syringe to administer his insulin shots, and there should have been some traces of insulin inside. Oh, fuck! Well, Valiant Grammar, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes a perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will. Alaka Kazag. Oh no, everybody. They got me. This is a stretch. Stop going Alakazam, my god, and you could get out of this, Grammar.
Dumbass.
Just be like, no, I didn't do that, and I guessed at the color. Bam, prove I didn't. That's all you'd have to say.
I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of the trial has been a bit too much for young Prosecutor Gavin.
Uh-oh.
I'm afraid that while there's a doubt, if there is doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag,
Okay, at the very least you can throw it out.
the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today.
Well, maybe I can squeeze in an extra day out of this. Maybe one more go on the twirly slide.
I see there's no objection. Oh my god, who did that?
Heh 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 heh. Truly, there's no substitute for experience. It's time for my song. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effective. A word to the wise, underestimate the young and they'll sweep the fit from under you. Oh, fuck. In a way that you never ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say the Venus used the syringe to manipulate the level of IV liquid, but there's no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it. Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This I admit. After all, if I linger in the past when the future holds so much shit, I gotta get better at this. He does later.
You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin?
Proof here, Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less.
What's this?
This is the victim Magnifique Grammarai's diary. Diary? After going to the hospital, Magnifique began writing his memoirs, it seems. They're mostly stupid and boring. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and his meeting of his disciples. It seems intended for the last chapters to the end, quite appropriately with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say the reason, what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page, apparently. The victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? Tonight's... Oh, okay.
This does appear to have been written just before his death. Tonight's IV is in. Maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. This journal may end here or may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left is mine. What?
Is mine.
The court accepts this in evidence.
All right, now we can look at it. It's the very last part with particular
That's the part
care.
we missed, Clavier. Okay. Examine.
This is the last page. The diary ends here. Huh? What's this? It looks like a page was ripped out. Well now, isn't that interesting? Why, I can't read the last part. All right, maybe Clavier will say it now. Oh, okay. All that is left of mine is...
Screen.
This journal may... This journal may end here and may go on, but not long. That depends. It's so boring. Of course, by his... He refers to our defendant, Zach Gramarai.
That makes sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all.
But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. No, it's not a good song. He's a bad songwriter. I'm much better. Magnifique Grammarly intended to write again. That is, if Zach Grammarly didn't put the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on, it ends.
There's a page ripped out.
Yeah, dude. Because Magnifique's life... Oh, but... Okay. Because Magnifique's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gramarai.
He said 10 minutes. Rubber.
Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin! Are you certain that Magnifique Grammari wrote this?
There's no mistaking his handwriting.
Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifique did intend to continue his diary. Yet, if his diary ended here, which plainly it did...
Then the one who pulled the trigger was his first visitor, Zach Grammari. Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? How you like me now? Still too green for your taste,
Just fuck already.
Yeah.
He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with this precious evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case.
If the diary was accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time to show them something.
Yeah, show evidence.
Showing their evidence? I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence.
What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary?
Yeah, because, like, no other evidence, like, this diary is concrete. The fact that the man didn't continue to write the moment that the first person didn't kill him proves that the second person did. Wait. The fact that he didn't continue writing means that the person who came first killed him. That he wouldn't, like, take 5 minutes before the next guy comes to poop or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's like...
Shit.
It's not too late to resync this to avoid more embarrassment. He knows that it's fake.
He does know. Oh,
He's-
he knows that it's
He's
fake.
trying
Shit.
to get him to use the evidence.
He has to know that it's there.
He knows the page is fake and he wants Phoenix to present it so that he'll get banned from being an attorney.
Very well, please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright.
It's fake. He's looking through. We're trying to find the
I
right
found
one. Notebook page.
Okay. Wait. Oh, shit. I'm not supposed to do this? Oh, I have to wait. Incidentally, don't think of ever showing us this diary I've already shown in court. Wait, what? Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Shows evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. All right, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is the diary. Which is funny.
No.
I know.
Page.
It's funny because he specifically went out of his way to say, don't show the diary again that I've just presented.
Yeah.
Because the logical thing is to show the diary that has a ripped out page and just point to the ripped out page.
It's not in our evidence.
Yeah, I know. But it's funny. Then they explained why. He's like saying, don't even think about presenting this. You can't present it. Oh, you can
we
actually.
can present it.
I want to see what happens. I'm going to present the diary again. Ripped out page. Look at it, guys.
This evidence, you're saying this is decisive?
Yeah, there's a ripped out page. Look. We don't need proof that he might have continued his diary. We need proof that he did continue that diary. If such a thing exists, of course.
Okay. So they just gently guide you.
They're saying that you can't. Yeah, the ripped out page isn't proof enough. All right. All right. Yeah, let's just like get the impressions off the next page.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Phoenix.
Notebook page.
Don't present it, Phoenix. No. First, take a look at this diary.
And she manipulated like how it was torn out too.
Note that the page has clearly been ripped out.
What's this?
Oh,
I hadn't noticed that at all.
That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Alaka, I don't believe it. Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifique Grammari. That's the defense's position.
Wait, let me see that. What in Sam Hill?
Oh, that's something like my grandfather would say.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't even know where the origin of Sam Hill is.
No, me neither.
Why, this is a continuation of that victim's diary.
He did it. He presented it. So, brother, when do I do the thing? Do I do it now? Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page of Magnifie's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Herr Attorney? The diary continued after the first visitor came, which means that the first victim was still alive. The victim was still alive after Zach Gramarai left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor, or the doctor, or like anybody, maybe even you. Valent Gramarai! No! No! Oh, my bunnies! My doves!
The handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article.
Rubble, 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 rubble.
Order! Order! Order!
But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that! Oh, no! Because he ripped out the page, so he knows it's impossible. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Herr Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Herr Judge?
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin?
Might I request we put the cross-examination on hold? The prosecution like to have a new witness. Call one up.
But, Prosecutor Gavin! This evidence overturns the current witnesses.
I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. Be very insulted if he didn't give it. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. Pinky swear?
Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this?
Well, Your Honor, I say fuck this guy.
Yeah.
We'll have to hear his new testimony sooner or later anyway, so it might as well be sooner.
Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, I am willing to break the rules just this once for a prosecutor as good-looking as Gavin Clavier. We will put our current... Okay. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, bring us this surprise witness into the courtroom.
All right. We'll be back with another surprise witness.
Surprise.